Hi, I'm Andy Ramirez. I'm a law enforcement advocate and third-generation American of Hispanic descent. My family did it the right way. I got to tell you, seeing what's taking place at the U.S.-Mexico border, let me tell you folks, I'm beyond pissed off. I haven't put out a video in some time. You know, I've done quite a few vlogs, but I've been dealing with some health issues. But I'm really pissed off about this, and I need to get back to this and start saying a few things that need to be said. I don't have to worry about this falling under something where I'm thinking of, you know, am I representing my board? No, this is just me. This is Andy. Andy Ramirez, patriot. Now, I'm absolutely appalled and disgusted by Imam Obama and the left and the House Republicans playing their little game here. The Senate is a lost cause. I never lobby the Senate because they have been a lost cause. You know, I'm one who likes the character Jefferson Smith. And there's a reason I like Jefferson Smith as portrayed by Jimmy Stewart. I should say Brigadier General Jimmy Stewart. Because that was a character who had honesty, he had honor, he had integrity. He was just one of us. But these people that are in the Senate today, at least 90 of them are an utter joke. And then don't get me started on the House. Because there's about 400 members that probably should be replaced immediately. Out of 538, I'm certain over 500 need to be immediately replaced. Now, let's address first this manufactured crisis at the border. How do you think it got to be possible? You're transporting what we're understanding could be hundreds of thousands of individuals, mostly minors, across 2,000 miles from Central America to the U.S.-Mexican border. It's through some of the most dangerous turf in the world, drug cartel turf, and especially in that area that they're coming through in South Texas. We're talking a very dangerous area. Now, what does this all mean? Well, how did it happen? Somebody in Washington, under Imam Obama, as I call him, had to talk to his counterparts in Central America and Mexico. And they had to figure out some type of plan, because if you think hundreds of thousands of people are going to cross the U.S. into the U.S. through Mexico from Central America, I've got a few bridges to sell you. Not just a bridge, bridges. Because it's not possible. It's not possible without logistics. It's not possible without food and water and toiletries. It's not freaking possible. So the buck has to stop somewhere, considering buses that were ordered for DHS, considering advertisement for personnel that needed to be hired to assist these illegal aliens. It's pretty clear where it's coming from. Nobody lifts a finger in federal government service, in politics, period, without answering to the superior. And in this case, this is a federal issue. States weren't in on this. This was a federal issue. This is Imam Obama and the Department of Homeland Security and Health and Human Services and all of these entities. But why? Is there an end game here? I mean, what's really going on here? There has to, by the way, notice what my cup says. I love my country. It's the government I'm afraid of. Now, we all have seen the pictures. Children? I see a lot of gang members with gang tabs. Children? You know, this is such a joke. Because they're trying to tell us one thing, but they're not letting congressmen on the military bases, members of Congress who even serve on the Armed Services Committee, who have had access to bases, regardless of the time, regardless of war or peace. And they're not being let onto the bases? Why? They're trying to hide something. We have stories coming out about the numbers of individuals who are traveling and getting to the United States with communicable diseases such as tuberculosis and scabies and other issues. So that means that we're going to have military personnel affected by this, Border Patrol personnel affected by this, health professionals affected by this, and eventually it's going to hit us, the populace. We're going to get hit with this form of germ warfare. But who's responsible for this? Well, Barack Obama, his Mexican counterpart, and the Central American governments. Because there's no way in hell the Mexican government is going to allow this shit to happen through their country without there being some other plan for this. What is this all leading to? Hundreds of thousands of individuals. A so-called peaceful invasion? Isn't with personnel, though. The Mexican military personnel have come in enough on their own. So what's the end game? Is this going to lead to some kind of thing where Obama can declare martial law and suddenly we have the blue-helmeted UN personnel or Mexican military personnel in our freaking country? Are you kidding me? People wake up. Connect the dots. Very easy. But who's responsible for this shit? Well, let's go to the House Republicans. The House Republican leadership. Now, I did an article that was published by the New American Magazine. This was published in June, addressing a trip I took to Washington, D.C. This was a featured story, DHS and Congress in collusion for amnesty. 6.5 pages. And it details the trip I took where I provided whistleblowers, federal whistleblowers from the Department of Homeland Security with documented internal corruption to people on the Hill. Did they do a damn thing about it? No, and that includes Chairman Darrell Issa. I met with his legislative staff. What was done about it? Where's the hearings, Darrell? They lied before one of your subcommittees. Jason Chaffetz chaired the National Security Subcommittee. June 27, 2013, Thomas Homan representing ICE, Mr. Murphy representing Customs, or Office of Field Operations, David Murphy, and Chief of the Border Patrol, Michael Fisher. They lied to your committee. They were instructed to do so. You could see this. Now, I had inside knowledge on their being instructed to do so. But you could see they lied. But you didn't do a damn thing about it. Where's the subsequent hearings calling them to the carpet, demanding the truth? Where's the impeachments? You guys don't have the balls to do it, and that's the bottom line. This problem should have been averted years ago because people like me have been going to you since after the inception of Homeland Security. My first meetings with the Hill was in 2005. I brought you documentation. I brought you whistleblowers. I brought you facts. I've testified. July 5th, August 17 of 2006, March 8 of 2007. And you guys haven't done a damn thing about it. It all falls on you. It's not just Imam Obama, but don't forget Junior Bush and his role in this. So what are you going to do about this, my fellow Americans? This has been manufactured. This problem is going to continue until we, the people, do something about it. But what do we do about this mess? This mess on the southern border that has been manufactured by Imam Obama and the policies of Junior Bush. And why Mexico? Why Mexico? What have they ever had to offer? They ever stood beside our soldiers in Korea, World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan? Where have their freaking soldiers been? I almost dropped an F-bomb for good reason. You know what? They haven't been there. They enter our country illegally, but we don't do a freaking thing about it. Now that's an act of war. You have politicians in Washington committing treason. This falls under high crimes and misdemeanors. Look at the pattern of abuse. Scandal after scandal after scandal. There is a pattern of scandals. Even if you don't agree with the scandal, it all leads somewhere. In the government, nobody does a thing within whatever structure of such magnitude, especially without having the go-ahead from somebody much higher. Well, there's only one. In federal government, nobody ties their shoes unless the president says it's okay. But nobody's doing a damn thing about it. But you can, my fellow Americans, start throwing people out. Throw them out in the primaries. Throw them out in the general elections. Vote these bastards out. I'm going to be following this, and I'll be back with more. Thanks for watching. I'm Andy Ramirez. God bless America.